Today I'm reviewing a recent reissue of one of my favorite albums of all time, Buckcherry's 15. This is the 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition, right here on the Vinyl Jukebox. What's up everyone, it's Ben from the Vinyl Jukebox, and if you haven't done so already, please be sure to leave a like and a comment below this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. So like I said in the opening, this is one of my favorite albums of all time. Buckcherry is one of my favorite bands of all time, so needless to say, I was really excited when I found out that 15 was going to be getting the deluxe reissue treatment. So just some quick background information before I get into the review. This album was originally released through Universal Japan on October 17th, 2005, and it wasn't released in America until April 6th of 2006 through 11/7 Music. And this was a bit of a comeback album for Buckcherry, as it was the first album with the reformed band with a new lineup since they had broken up after their second album, Time Bomb, in 2001, which, for lack of a better term, no pun intended, definitely bombed at the time. Time Bomb is one of my favorite albums of all time as well, and actually it might be my favorite Buckcherry album, for the record. There are a few producing credits on the album. First off, Mike Plotnikoff, who would actually come back to the band to produce their more recent album, Warpaint, in 2019. Also, Paul DeCarli is credited, and guitarist and founding member Keithnelson. So the band on the album consists of, obviously, Josh Todd on lead vocals, Keithnelson lead guitar, Jimmy Ashhurst on bass, Stevie D on rhythm guitar. He and Josh Todd are the only members of this lineup who are actually still in the band, and Xavier Muriel rounding it up on drums. The original album clocks in at 42 minutes and 28 seconds, and it peaked at 39 on the Billboard Top 200 chart. It's certified double platinum with over 2 million copies sold. So let's take a look at the reissue. Here it is. We have a hype sticker on here. This was the metallic marble pressing, limited to 1,500 copies. I know there were a few different pressings. One was exclusive to Europe that came with a signature and everything. I pre-ordered this one on Amazon, so this is the one that they had available. But it says right here, vinyl debut 20th anniversary expanded 2LP edition. So I don't know if it means the vinyl debut of this anniversary pressing or just vinyl debut in general, because that would be incorrect. There was actually a Rocktober pressing, have it right here, Rocktober pressing a few years ago. It's just a single LP of just the album, so maybe they just mean that this is a vinyl debut of this anniversary edition, you know, but it just gives some information about the album there on the hype sticker. I kept the shrink on, so sorry about the glare, but we have the track listing on the back. I thought that this might be a gatefold. It turns out that it's not. It's just kind of like the spine is just a little wider on this, so, you know, to fit the two records pretty easily. But I do like that on the spine here, it does say 20th anniversary edition, so on the shelf it'll stand apart from the other one. So taking a look at the vinyl themselves, this, like I said, was the metallic marble version. This one was kind of like a gold marble, and I just thought that this looked absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at that. Excellent. And they reproduced the label really well from the past reissue, and that reissue, the Rocktober edition, which I'll show in a minute, was the first vinyl edition. This originally did not come out on vinyl when it was originally released. And I just put these in my own rice paper Hudson Hi-Fi sleeves, but I did appreciate, and I always appreciate when bands do this, that these actually came in poly-lined sleeves. So definitely a nice touch. I was a little disappointed also that this didn't come with any kind of booklet. I thought that maybe like a 20th anniversary special edition would come with maybe an interview from the band, maybe a booklet with pictures and everything. But I did notice that this reissue was a bit minimalist in its presentation. I mean, that's okay, but one thing that I noticed. Another thing that I noticed was that the artwork actually came out a lot better on this recent reissue, the deluxe edition, than the last one, the Rocktober edition. I mean, I'm not sure if you can see it on camera. I'll try to get it without the glare. But this one definitely looks a lot more high resolution. than this one. So I think they did a lot better job reproducing the artwork on the most recent reissue. And on that note with the artwork, I mean, if we look at the original CD edition over here, I mean, there's a whole booklet in here with shots of the band and really cool artwork here. You have the lyrics. So I'm really surprised that they decided not to reproduce any of this. I mean, maybe they were trying to cut costs, I don't know. But to be honest, this reissue ran about $50, give or take, on Amazon. So, you know, for the amount of money that we were paying for a double deluxe edition, you know, it would have been nice to have a little bit more artwork for sure. Just going through the track listing here, we have the original album on sides A and B, you know, just going through So Far, Next to You, Two Rockers, Out of Line, Everything, the first ballad on this album, Carousel, which is a bit of a more country tinged influence song. I love that one. I love every song on this album, to be honest. Sorry, the big ballad, Crazy Bitch, the lead single of this album and probably their biggest single ever. Onset, great song, Sunshine, one of my favorites, a great opener when they play live. Brooklyn and Broken Glass rounding it all up. Now, this does come with a whole nother disc of bonus tracks here. Sorry, an acoustic version of Sorry, and an electric version of Brooklyn. So the acoustic version of Sorry was recorded at the time, back in, I guess they were recording this in 2004, released originally in 2005. So really cool. I mean, it works as an acoustic version. I think it works really well because it's that ballad sound. I really like that they included this electric version of Brooklyn. It sounds a little bit like a demo, like the quality is not quite there with the, you know, final version of Brooklyn, but I never would have thought of Brooklyn being like an electric charged like rocker of a song, and they do it here and it actually really works. It's a great new way to hear that song. I love the original version of that song, but I also love this electric version. I just wish that the sound quality was on par with the final version, but oh well. Then we have an Elvis Costello cover here, Pump It Up. I believe it was included with the Japanese edition of 15 when it was originally released. And we also have a song called Back in the Day, which was released with the Japanese edition, not released here in America. And to be honest, that has to be my favorite of all of the bonus tracks here. It's just a crazy good rocker. I never picked up a Japanese edition, so this was the first time that I'd heard this, and I was really pleasantly surprised. Then on side D, we have some new acoustic recordings of some of these songs. We have an acoustic version of Crazy Bitch that was just recorded by Josh and Stevie. To be honest, probably out of all of the bonus tracks here, not so much my favorite. I mean, Crazy Bitch is a great song, one of my favorites by the band, but I don't know if it really works acoustically. But maybe it just has to grow on me. We'll see. Onset, an acoustic version of Onset, very slow version of Onset. To be honest, they totally changed the song around, and I think it sounds really cool this way. And a great acoustic version of Sunshine. I did only say that it was Josh and Stevie. There is some percussion there, so I assume that Francis, their new drummer, was doing the percussion. Maybe not. Let's see here on the credits if it says... Well, it says Stevie D all instruments, so I guess Stevie went in and recorded the percussion as well. But, you know, I'll do a little more research and we'll see, and maybe I'll follow that up in another video. But that is the track listing on this deluxe edition. So really cool that we got a whole nother disc of bonus material here. Would have been cool maybe to get a few more demos from the time, but maybe they're just not there. Maybe they just put out whatever they had and that was that. So here's my bottom line on the 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition of Buckcherry's 15. I think that any time that you could get a classic rockin' album back in print, back in the hands of people who love the album and maybe even introduce the album to new people, I think that's always great. And I think that bands should continue to do this and do these anniversary pressings. I think that the vinyl itself was done really well. I think that, I mean, it just looks beautiful, and I think that they included some great bonus tracks that maybe people hadn't heard or weren't available very easily. So I think it was really great that they included all of that. On the other hand, it was a little disappointing that they didn't release a remastered version of the album. It would have been really cool to hear it touched up a little bit. From what I could hear, this was the same exact mastering as the Rocktober reissue and probably hadn't changed since the CD version. So that was a little disappointing. And I also thought that the lack of album packaging and, you know, you're advertising this as a deluxe edition 20th anniversary. I expected maybe a booklet. I expected maybe a gatefold, some more artwork of the band. And to be honest, it was a little minimal for the amount that I was paying for it. So that was a bit disappointing as well. All in all, though, I thought that this was a good reissue. I thought that it was pressed really nicely. The vinyl looks beautiful and definitely brought back some attention to a wonderful album, Buckcherry's 15. One of my favorites, like I said, of all time. So to be honest, anytime this gets reissued, anytime this gets a deluxe treatment, I'm going to be paying attention and I'm probably going to pick it up. All right, everyone, there you have it. That's my take on the 20th anniversary edition of Buckcherry's 15. And let me know in the comments below, did you pick up this reissue? What are your thoughts on the album? Is this one of your favorites as well? Definitely let me know in the comments below. And I'm sure I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure you are as well, Buckcherry's new album, supposed to be dropping in the spring of this year. Josh Todd announced on Eddie Trunk's show that we should be getting a single around March. So I'm super excited for that, but this is definitely a good appetizer for what's to come. All right, everyone, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to leave a like and a comment below this video. Subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.